Alright guys, Unit 3 assessment go over. So the area of a circle is what we're looking for. This has a radius of 50 centimeters. So the formula for area is pi times r squared. So if our radius is 50, we need to square it and multiply it by pi. When I put that in my calculator and solve using 3.14, I get 7,850, and C would be my answer because that's the closest option. It does say the closest one. Alright, scrolling down to number 2, we have to use this figure. It says select all the expressions that correctly calculate the perimeter of the shape. So I'm going to go around and just label some things for you. So 10 is here. It's the same for all of these side lengths because these are all squares. I'm just going to label all of the. Okay. We have one circle and we need to find the area of it. So we know the area formula is pi r squared. Oh, sorry, we're finding the perimeter, not the area. So the perimeter is pi times diameter. So the diameter of the circle would be this whole length, which is 20. So we have 20 pi, and we figured out that part. We figured out this and this. And now we need to do the perimeter of this, what's on the outside right there. So we have 10 and 10 is 20, and 10 and 10 is 20 as well. So we have 20 pi plus 40. So if we look at the first one, A is an option. Okay. Also, I would say this one's not an option, not an option, not an option. And then I would say I can add these together and get my answer. So the answer is A and E for this one. Select all of the true statements. So all of these things you can figure out. So pi is the area of the circle with the radius of 1. So if you would take pi times the radius, you will get pi. So that is correct statement. B says pi is the area of a circle with a diameter of 1. That is not true because when I multiply the diameter, or the radius, by the radius by pi, I don't get pi. C is pi is the circumference of a circle of the radius of 1. When I find the diameter of 2 and multiply that by pi, I don't get that. For letter D, pi is the circumference of a circle of the diameter of 1. So diameter of 1 times 3.14, that one is true. Pi is the constant of proportionality relating the diameter of the circle to its circumference. And we know that this is true because we multiply the diameter by pi, which is the constant each of the times. And finally, F, pi is the constant of proportionality relating the radius of the circle to this area. And we know that that is not true because the radius is multiplied by itself, which is a different number every time. Looking at number 4, a class should measure the radius and circumference of various objects. The results are plotted on the graph. So for letter A, does there appear to be a proportional relationship between the radius and the circumference, and explain why? I would say yes, because if I would line these points up, there's a straight line. Okay, and it would start at 0, 0. Some of you did say no, and I did allow you to say that and gave you points for it because you explained that when you found the rate or the constant here, that it was a little bit different. And that kind of goes with this next problem. Why might the measured radii and circumference not be exactly proportional? And this is when we go back to the question and it says measured. Okay? Whenever there's measurement and by multiple people, there is error. So there could be error in the measurement. Alright, on to number 5. For each of these, you had to select, was it measuring circumference or area, and why? The distance around the circular track, this is circumference, and this is because it's the distance around. Okay? The next one, the total number of equally sized tiles on a circular floor. This is area because this is space inside the circle. The amount of oil it takes to cover the bottom of a frying pan. This is also area because this is the space inside. And then the last one, the distance your car will go with one turn of the wheel. We learned earlier that the turn of a wheel is circumference because it's the distance around. Alright, on to number 6. So this figure is made from part of a square and part of a circle. What is the perimeter? Okay, easy part first is I'm going to do the sides of the square, but I would break this into littler squares like this. And these all would have a side length of 5. So I have 3 of these. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 times 6 is 30. But then I still need to add this section to it, and it's only 1/4 of a circle, and I would need the circumference because it's the outside area that I'm looking for. So that's pi times diameter. So I would take pi. The diameter of the circle would be 10 because the radius is 5. Okay, when I solve that, I get 10 pi, and I need to divide that by 4 because it's only 1/4 of the circle. So when I plug that in my calculator, I get 7.85. Okay, and when I put this together, okay, I get 37.85. It says round to the nearest unit, so you could round. I would have taken anything from 35 because of pi to 40 for this one. Now it says area, so we're solving for the area of it. So we need to find the area of each of these boxes, and there's 3 of them, so 5 times 5 times 3, okay, is 75, and then we need to find the area of this 1/4 of a circle, so pi times 5 squared, and then we'll divide this by 4. So 3.14 times 5 squared is 78.5 divided by 4 is 19.625 plus 75 is 94.625, so I took anywhere from 90 to 95. Okay, and this is centimeters squared as well, I think. No, sorry, it is, actually they don't give you a unit, so it would be unit squared. Alright, and the last one. A groundskeeper needs grass seed to cover a circular field with a diameter of 290, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my circle. Okay, they say that if the store sells a 50-pound bag of grass seed, 1 pound of grass seed covers 400 square feet. So 1 pound equals 400 feet squared. What is the smallest number of bags the groundskeeper can buy to cover the circle? Okay, so I'm trying to cover in this part of the circle, so I need to find the area. So area formula is pi times radius squared. So to find the radius, 290 divided by 2 is 145. So pi times 145 squared, I get 66,618.5. Okay, that is my area of this. Okay, so I need to now figure out how many pounds of grass seed I need to fill that. So I'm going to take this and divide it by this number up here. So I need 165.04 pounds. And there's 50 pounds in a bag, so divided by 50 is 3.3, but I can't buy 0.3 of a bag, so I need 4 bags.